Our last inductee of the evening is Amy Reed Stead. I've known Amy for a long time, not as long as Joan, for 34 years, but I've known Amy for quite a while. I was sharing with her dad before. I still recall Amy and her dad sitting in my office on a visit to Messiah College, and they wanted to talk about academics and sport management, and I found out a lot about Amy at that point in time. So I've always treasured that relationship through her 4 years and continual relationship to this day. The intro for Amy is written by Dale Fogelsanger, who is the head men's track and field coach here at Messiah College, and also was a coach of Amy during her time here. Dale states, Amy Reed Stead had and continues to have a very positive impact on the Messiah College track and field program. Amy was a very talented, focused, and high-achieving athlete, as you can see from her listed athletic achievements. With that comes higher responsibility. Amy was a humble leader by example and was highly respected by her peers and coaches on her team in our conference and at the national level. She loved to compete and push herself to her limits. She's a quiet but intense competitor, very driven but also lighthearted and fun to have on the team. She welcomed and helped younger or less talented teammates. Amy was a pleasure to have on our team, and thankfully has stayed in touch. Amy competed in the heptathlon, an event where you combine points from 7 track and field events, including the high hurdles, high jump, shot put, 200 meters, long jump, javelin, and 800 meters. Amy needed to be focused, balanced, and resilient to move on in a competition if one event did not go well. Being talented in many events and on relays, Amy also demonstrated teamwork and unity in track and field, which could be considered an individualistic sport. She appreciated the bigger picture. At the conference meet during her junior year, Amy competed in 21 events over 3 days for the team. Amy's abilities took her to the national meets, where she exemplified Christian sportsmanship on a larger scale. She took Messiah's motto of Christ's preeminence to many people who may have never heard of Messiah College. In the heat of competition, Amy gave her all for God, team, and self, and people noticed. More than Amy's records that will likely stay near the top for a long time, the positive legacy of determination, team goals, and Christian sportsmanship will forever influence our Messiah track and field program. Once again, thank you, Amy, and congratulations. Amy, come on up.
I was going to comment about how time flies and how old I feel, but then I saw here that Jamie graduated. And I'm feeling pretty good. No hard feelings. And I want to also congratulate all the other inductees. It's quite an honor to be standing up here amongst all you and all your achievements. A few thank yous to start. I want to thank my family for being here, my immediate family, my brother, sister-in-law, and my parents who flew across the country, which was great because we had our kids with us on the plane. They sat right behind us, just pass it back. But I promise this is the last time you'll have to fly all the way across the country for one of my sport things. Thank you, Jack, and the Falcon Athletic Network for putting this evening together. And like Jack said, he was my professor for many of my classes. Although I would tell people I'd had a double major in basketball and track and field and just a minor in sport management. Yes, and happy birthday tomorrow, the big 60. Thank you, Coach Fogue. You were a great coach, a great motivator, and just a great cheerleader for all of your athletes. And congratulations, I think it's 25 years of coaching for you. That's a huge accomplishment. And thank you to my teammates. A few of you guys are here. I really appreciate that. You guys are what made sports really fun and memorable, so thank you for being here. I want to thank my left and right ACL for self-destructing in high school and not college, which allowed me to play all the way up through college. And thank you, Coach Miller, who's here. I know I'm getting this award for track, but I do appreciate you letting me still play basketball despite not having much of a high school career. So I truly do appreciate that. Although I was allowed to do one thing. I tore my left ACL my junior year of high school. My first skate back my senior year, I tore my other one. And so I was done for my senior season as well. But I was allowed to do one track event my senior year of high school, and that was throw the javelin. And if you want to know what that looked like, have you ever seen Forrest Gump? When he's running down the road with those knee braces, clanking together, that was pretty much what I looked like, running down the runway with 2 Don Joy knee braces to throw the javelin. So what does a retired athlete do? I always wonder, what do people do after college that played sports? So for me, I moved out back to Seattle, where my family's originally from, in the Pacific Northwest. And I slowly weaned off of sports. I continued to train for the javelin for a little bit, and then I played some open gyms with basketball, and I actually picked up a new sport. I joined a women's ice hockey team. It was quite fun, and then I got pregnant, and they told me it was probably not a good idea to continue that sport. I don't know. Go figure. And I love the outdoors. I love hiking and mountain biking and all these dangerous things that I was never allowed to do from basically high school to college. So I got to enjoy these activities again, like skiing and snowboarding. And I'm very fortunate to actually work in the outdoor industry for Sawyer Products, who is very involved and instrumental still in athletics here at the school and doing some very neat things, saving a lot of lives around the globe. But the hundreds of hours of training and the sweat and the blood and the tears, they've all prepared me for this day. And perhaps some of the most physical, emotional, enduring events that I have to do on a daily basis, and that is change my 2-year-old into her clothes. It is a real struggle. It is. But I wanted to conclude my time up here with a story. I don't want to talk about the time we won Penn relays, came from behind, 4x400, or the time I threw the javelin or whatever. I wanted to tell a story of something I've done that I'm actually quite proud of, maybe most proud of, and hopefully it'll inspire some of the students sitting up in the audience. But as you know, anyone that knows me, I'm quite competitive and not just sports in all aspects of life. And there was a situation in basketball where we had some younger classmen who decided it would be a wise thing to pull a prank on me. Not a wise thing. So they did something very innocent. I won't even say it was very innocent, but I took it to the next level. So what I did was I went to the grocery store up the road and I purchased a fish. Yes, a fish. And when they were not in their rooms, we snuck into their rooms and we flipped their mattresses upside down, sliced them open with a knife, and we inserted the fish into the mattress. Then we sewed the mattress back up, put it in the room, nice, put it all back together, like no, we'd never been there, and we waited. And about a week went by, and we hadn't heard anyone talking, any mentions of it, but a few days later, we started to hear the comments come in. The first teammate, her name is Julie, she started to make complaints at practice about naps and things. And we felt, I had one teammate who helped me, was a little soft. And in one practice, she actually was crying because she thought we had sickened this person. So we let her off the hook easy, but the other person was tough. She was Amanda Nair, a phenomenal soccer player who I'm sure a lot of you know. And we knew she could handle it. She could handle it much longer than this other teammate. So we let that ride for a while. It got so bad to the point where when we were around her at practice, we could smell dead fish on her. Just standing next to her, she smelled terrible. And so we knew she was not going to find it. So finally, we're not monsters. We told her where it was. We even helped her clean it up. And I think the best part of the story is, as we were dragging her mattress, which was unsalvageable, down the hallway, her RA stopped us, asked us what we were doing. We said, "Oh, she's been pranked." And being the good teammate she was, she did not give us up. She was smart. And so the RA said, "Well, if you're not going to tell who did it, then you are paying for the mattress yourself." So me and my teammates decided we would go door to door later that night and asked for spare change. And in a couple short hours, we raised more than enough money to pay for that mattress for my teammate. So I actually want to finish this talk not by receiving more, but by giving one, because I could not have pulled that off if it was not for my teammate and fellow Hall of Fame inductee, Nikki Hornberg-Lobach, sitting right at my table. So I would like Nikki to come up here. You with the golden fish for being the best accomplice and perhaps one of the best pranks pulled in Messiah College athletic history. Will you please accept this? So that's the stuff I'm going to remember when I think back about my time at Messiah. And I hope you guys take this as a lesson to have a little bit of fun and not take things too seriously. But that concludes my night. Thank you so much. One more thing. This isn't the only Golden Fish trophy on campus. There is another one, and it's hiding somewhere prominently on this campus. And one day you will pass it and you will see it, and it will remind you to not take things too seriously.